Listen, there's some men that you trust the bear more. What was that shit y'all was arguing about? The bear or the man, whatever. There's some men
if you ran into a strange man or a bear in the woods, who would you choose? 98% of women chose the bear, and men lost their ever-loving minds.
I mean, because it is a very ridiculous thing. But I understand why women could feel that
Here's
way.
the thing. If the bear kills me, that's fine. At least he didn't me. At least he didn't sexual assault me. At least he didn't, violate my corpse.
Bruh.
What's going on, everyone? This is your man, Brandon Geo, one half of Residual Impact. Ayo, check it. Melyssa Ford has gone viral yet again, this time for potentially taking a shot at the Joe Budden podcast and a few other things in a recent conversation that she had with Charlamagne the God. So without wasting any more of your time, let's get into it.
I think you talk a lot about our algorithms being very subjective, and we can create these algorithms, and sometimes there's stuff that just kind of gets funneled to us. But I will admit that my algorithm is very specific. There's a lot of cats and dogs in there because for the, just I need the laughter and I need just, the good heartfelt moments. There's a lot of travel because I'm constantly thinking about where I want to go next and what part of the world, part of the globe I need to see. There's a lot of women empowerment stuff. But a lot of times when you do have the women empowerment part of your algorithm, a lot of the other side is going to filter itself in. And that's the gender war-y, masculinity versus femininity, whole rhetoric and stuff like that. And it does start to, kind of have an effect on you. I guess it's not that I don't believe that there is a huge swath of the male population that is interested in growth and evolution and their mental health. I absolutely believe that. I think that the ones that aren't, I think that the Manosphere, Red Pill Nation podcast bros, I think that they are so much louder.
But that's the loud minority a lot of times.
And then when you see the comments.
Okay, first things first, let me say this. When it comes to your algorithm is typically determined by what it is that you tend to gravitate more so towards. If you've liked or shared or commented on any sorts of pictures or videos or anything like that of something that you deem as negative, what's going to keep happening is that your algorithm is going to keep pushing that stuff to you because it sees that you're constantly interacting with it. If we want to share the most positive information that we give, which we do every episode, it don't really go anywhere. But if I want to sit here and talk about the same repetitive conversations that are constantly going on.
And they just start some shit for no reason.
For no reason. 50-50 combos. You know what, brothers? Today's women, they just not cutting it, man.
We going viral.
We getting numbers. We going viral. One day, I really want to test that theory out. Sit down. I don't care. I want to have a conversation and talk about today's women are trash. They're masculine. Like, I don't want to deal with none of these modern women because they ain't shit.
First.
Hey, everybody who watches and listens knows that I'm capping when I'm talking about this. However, my point is that the type of message that we put out doesn't normally get enough views, likes, and clicks. Nobody willingly shares it because it's not the type of information that they want to interact with. Even though sometimes people are tired of the toxic posts and they'll comment on it and say, you guys not tired yet? Or can we talk about something different? Or how is everybody's morning? Because I'm sick of listening to this nonsense. Yeah. Whether they know it or not, they're still engaging with those posts.
Yeah.
Now, are there toxic red pill videos out there? Sure. There are a lot of men out there who probably get off on downing women or dissing women and stuff like that. Like, I'm sure they exist. I mean, even in some of the comments that we receive on our channel, like there's some people who will comment some nonsense and really just critique us for wanting to see men and women do better and realize that we need each other and we need to do things to fix ourselves so that we can come together and create a better society or a better community for our future and our children. I mean, there's just a group of people out there in general that just love to see negativity. That's why a lot of negativity will push through your feed, and you tend to see more negative things than positive things. But I mean, Mel's had her fair share from what I've seen in certain things that will trigger those types of items in her algorithm. And why she thinks that they're so loud is because she's probably contributed to a decent amount of it in one way or another.
So speaking of therapy and Black men going to therapy, right now, in these dating streets, which is a raging dumpster fire, and I refuse to participate.
Damn. Damn.
No, but the
As I look, I see you on the screen there. There's a T-shirt that says "No More Boyfriends."
Okay, there's a story
episode.
behind that. Okay, there's a story behind that, and but I did do it to be kind of,
You had just broke up with somebody.
I hadn't. No, I was just wearing it to like to instigate some shit. I was just wearing it to like to instigate some shit. To instigate some shit.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But let's continue.
Well, not only that. I mean, when you read cases like Giselle Pellicot, the woman in France,
Oh yeah.
whose husband was basically renting out her body for about 10 years and drugging her in the process to where she didn't even know what was happening to her. And then this became like this massive case in France, and 51 men saw some kind of level of prosecution, but it was up to 80 men that had participated in this. And they were doctors, lawyers, grandfathers, fathers, brothers. They were all, pillars of society and members of society, professional, et cetera, et cetera.
But they was buying. The problem
they were not buying. They were raping.
But wasn't he selling her? I thought he was her husband or something.
She was unconscious.
Oh,
he was drugging her and renting out her body.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
All right. Now, cases like that, horrible. Okay. That's very horrible what happened to that woman that she was referencing. But you can't use a situation like that to essentially generalize men or generalize the type of men that you swear pop up on your feed. That's an extreme. If you guys have made it this far, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. And don't forget to click that notification bell so you never miss when we upload a new video for you. Make sure you guys leave a thumbs up. It's completely free and it goes a long way.
Also, don't forget to leave a comment because we like to hear from y'all. We want to know what y'all think. Is the video good? Does it suck? Did you learn something from it? Just say hello. Put a smiley face. I don't care. Just write something. Interact. Communicate. We like those things.
Now back to the video. To use an extreme to make an example, so to speak, of the social media age, like people who you're talking about who you might not be so fond of, it's two different things. Like you're comparing apples to oranges at this point. Come on. But let's continue.
That was wild. And so when you hear things about that, when you see the swath of men from all walks of life participating in something like that, when you hear about this group chat of like 72,000 men sharing pictures of their wives and girlfriends in an intimate manner and exchanging stories as to how to manipulate women and drug them and take advantage of them. And I mean,
listen, again, another horrible situation. But you still can't use that group of 72,000 men as an example of all men or most men in this country or most men who you see producing this Manosphere content or red pill content that you don't seem to like. Granted, there are evil people in this world, men and women. In fact, before this clip even started, Charlamagne talked about a woman who recently unalived another woman because she opened the door for her and that woman didn't say thank you. Now, I don't know if some of y'all heard that story, but it happened about a month or so ago. But it was horrible. And guess what? It was a woman. A lot of evil things in this world may be portrayed by men, but it's not all by men. So
listen, there's some men that you trust to bear more. What was that shit y'all was arguing about? The bear or the man, whatever. There's some men
if you ran into a strange man or a bear in the woods, who would you choose? 98% of women chose the bear, and men lost their ever-loving minds.
I mean, because it is a very ridiculous thing. But I understand why women could feel that.
Here's the thing. If the bear kills me, that's fine. At least he didn't grape me. At least he didn't sexually assault me. At least he didn't violate my corpse.
Listen, this whole man versus bear conversation, as dumb as it is, it completely goes out the window when the type of man that a lot of women would honestly get together and agree is an evil man is also the same type of men that women are fiending for when it comes to his looks and his attractiveness, even though he's been accused and found guilty of doing heinous acts to women. For example, Wade Wilson.
The funny thing is, when I heard this Wade Wilson story, I was about to make a video saying to the ladies how I understand why they chose the bear. Was about to be 100% sympathetic and say most men probably owe y'all an apology. Not to say I don't understand the context of choosing the bear. But judging by the 30-something fan videos that I've seen about Wade Wilson, judging by the hundreds of comments of women talking about how fine he is and how good he looks, with zero remorse for the women he killed, by the way. It's a little bit conflict of interest, contradicting, if you will, don't you think? Don't get it twisted. Women have always confused the shit out of me. How a woman can be literally starving and not know what she wants to eat, that confuses me. How a woman can be mad at her man for leaving the toilet seat up, but he can't get mad for her leaving it down, that confuses me. How a man is a body shaming jerk for not wanting to date an oversized or a big woman, but it's perfectly okay for a woman to not want to date a short guy, that confuses me. And we can sweep all that shit under the rug, but this situation confuses the fuck out of me. Because how do you say I chose the bear to go with the safer route than opt to choose the devil? Hey, but I guess as long as he's handsome, right? Truth of the matter is, most of y'all chose the bear because you don't know how to choose a man.
And no matter what, the whole man versus bear scenario didn't apply to him because so many women would have chosen him over the bear. That's why this whole man versus bear thing is stupid, but to each his own.
But what if that guy is running from the bear too? And the guy's trying to...
It's entirely possible. And this is, I want men to really truly understand why women have no choice but to be fearful. You have 4 daughters.
Absolutely.
I need to know what, and one of them, your oldest is, I believe, 16, 17. 17.
Come here, ask you a question. Have you had more positive experiences with men than negative?
That's an interesting question. I have had extraordinarily fulfilling and have fulfilling platonic relationships with men. Absolutely. So, I have had not the greatest personal romantic relationships with men.
And that is pretty evident. I mean, to be honest, you look at Melyssa's history, and I'm not saying all of this to down Melyssa Ford. I don't know her. All right. All I can think of is the type of light I've seen her in since being introduced to her on TV many years ago when I was a kid. Like literally looking at her video vixen past. I've known of Melyssa Ford since I was in high school. You know, seeing her in music videos and seeing her on the King magazine cover, her and Gloria Velez being on the same issue. But just like overall, I say all of that to say, look at her past. There's a reason why so many men look at a woman's past and we can judge whether or not we want to be with her. Now, granted, they can change, they can evolve, they can grow into a different person as they get older, as they mature. But at the end of the day, I mean, she was a video vixen. She was in many men's faces. She was seen half naked across so many different music videos and magazine covers. And teenage me, again, looking at the King magazine back in 03 or 04, whenever it came out, I was not looking at her mindset at the time. I promise you that. But your past matters. So the type of interactions that you may have had with men, I'm sure was most likely due to your past and you most likely choosing your career over being a wife. Hey, that's your prerogative, Melyssa. You did what you thought was best for you. You did what you wanted to do. And now you're at a point in your life to where you got to look back and see the type of interactions that you had with men that you've been romantically involved with. And you got to look at why things ended the way that they did with each male. Let's continue.
So based off that, you know that all men aren't terrible human beings.
I do know that. However, I will say this. You want to know one of the reasons why women watch all that murder, death, kill stuff, all the serial killer stuff? Because we're trying to understand what threat looks like. Because usually it's presented as somebody who's very, very normal.
Stop the cap.
I disagree with that. And I say that because I think that many women watch a whole bunch of true crime or listen to a whole bunch of true crime because they're addicted to drama. They're addicted to chaos. They're addicted to a lot of dysfunction. It's one of the key reasons why they watch like reality TV and stuff like that, and anything involving like cat fights, like baddies, and every single version of that franchise, however many they are. And it's like, all they do is fight on the show. Women are addicted to that stuff. It's just nothing but dysfunction and drama that just keeps their adrenaline pumping. So that's why many women watch true crime.
The BTK killer, Dennis Rader, he was a pillar of his community. He was an active member of his church. You know, John Wayne Gacy, same thing. Like the evil.
But why they don't ever do the positive stories? Meaning like, because all of this, I'm not saying it's not true, because it's definitely true, but propaganda works both ways. Mm-hmm. If there was a network that showed us, you know, these great men who did right by women and, you know, protected women and held women down, your perspective wouldn't lean so much to, you know, men ain't shit, I gotta go with the bear.
No, trust me. I place in my algorithm men that I know there's a guy named Will Hitchens online. There is this podcast, it's these 4 young Black boys. I can't remember what the podcast is called right now, but I mean.
Oh, you're talking about
it starts with a J.
Jamming or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, they're from Chicago, I think.
I love them. Mm-hmm. I love them because it's just, they take men and brosphere and red pillars to task, and their rhetoric is so respectful towards women, and they just have so much common sense for being so young. So I follow them. I follow Deontay Kyle. I definitely have an algorithm full of men that are, you know, that are allies to women.
Now, I don't know every single creator that Melyssa just talked about as far as who she follows, other than Deontay Kyle. And we've spoken about him on this channel before. And according to Melyssa, I mean, he's an ally of women. And just because she says that the type of men that she follows, or the men that pop up in her algorithm, are allies to women, I think what she means by that is just they're not going to hold women accountable. That's what it sounds like. I'm sure she probably would have lumped somebody like Derek Jackson in there a few years ago before it came out that he cheated on his wife, because many women saw him as an ally to women. Many women still see him as an ally to women because that brother is still getting paid because so many women are attracted to his content. Can't knock his hustle. I'll give him that. But anyway, I just think that Melyssa's talking about the guys who will not provide any type of pushback when it comes to women doing anything that goes against men, or holding women accountable for anything that they do that is harmful to themselves or others.
But I will also find myself in the comment section of certain things, and it's just, it's very polarizing, and it pulls you. And especially, you know, I mean, I've had my own experiences of being around a certain type of, a certain group of men who exhibit groupthink. Mm-hmm. And that groupthink tends to lean very misogynistically. So it has an effect on you, you know, as somebody who's just kind of like absorbing it simply just because I'm a woman and I'm the woman in the room kind of thing. It's just.
And here we have the Joe Budden podcast reference, which she is definitely going viral for because, I mean, she's been off the pod for what, a month, maybe 2 months. And so many people, including myself, were wondering what happened to her. Where did she go? I mean, you see Mona pop up on the show, and Joe said that she wasn't a replacement for Mel. She was just an add-on. But there you have it, folks. There's Melyssa's shot at the Joe Budden podcast. Man.
I listen, are there fuck boys out here? Yes, but I still believe in the circle of trust of humans. And I believe that the shooting percentage when it comes to the circle of trust of humans is still very, very high in spite of all the bullshit. And what do I mean by that? We wake up every day, mm-hmm. every single one of us, and we trust that we not going to go crazy. I don't know none of these people in this room, mm-hmm. but one of these motherfuckers could go crazy and fuck up the whole day for everybody. You could go to freaking Dunkin' Donuts and order a coffee, and it's that one person in the back who might decide, you know what, I'm going to put some fucking, you know, fentanyl or arson in her shit. Or you might get in the car with the Uber driver and that person decided to run off the road. My point is, we don't think about that type of stuff. You don't go into Dunkin' Donuts and think somebody's gonna put arson into your fucking drink. You don't order the Uber and jump in the car and think this person's gonna run me off the highway. You don't walk in rooms with perfect strangers and be like, okay, you know, who's gonna be the person that shoots this shit up? So there's a circle of trust that exists amongst humans. And in spite of all of the bullshit, we do pretty good at making sure that all of us are safe and protected. So I can't base everything off, you know, just the bullshit. Now, do I, you know, raise my daughters with that mentality? Yes, but I also let them know to be aware. Just like right now, I'm aware. I wouldn't walk in here with my own shooter if I wasn't aware. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the mentality you have to have. It's the reason we have life insurance. Like, you know, you have to be prepared. You don't want these things to happen, and you're not even expecting these things to happen. You're just, I guess, prepared if they do. But imagine if we had to wake up every day and just not trust anybody.
I mean, that would be really isolating. But
you're kind of doing that with the men.
No.
You started it off by saying, fuck niggas, get money. That's basically what you said. You was like, I don't want to be with nobody.
I mean, he has a point. Like, this could happen with anybody. Like I said, it's not just the men, it's women too. It's everybody in the world, everybody in this country. I can't even really speak for the world, but everybody you got to watch out for. So when it comes to the initial conversation that started this entire discussion, Melyssa was talking about one of Charlamagne's most recent books and how it came about because he was in therapy. And Melyssa believes that a lot more black men should be in therapy, which I agree with that. A lot of people, not just black men, but a lot of people should be in therapy. But when it comes to the community, yes, I'm speaking for us because my brothers look like me. You know what I'm saying? We all need therapy. We all need somebody professional to talk to.
No, it's not that. I'll be completely honest. It has nothing to do with me not wanting to be with anybody right now at this particular stage in my life because of this massive career transition and spiritual transition. I'm having what I now understand is a spiritual awakening. And it has been so powerful that I don't think anybody needs to be there at this moment. I need to be here with myself and integrating everything that I've learned, you know, in a very short amount of time, especially at the retreat that I went to in Mexico. I'm at a point in my life where so much new information is being downloaded from source. I don't have anything to give to anybody right now because I'm still receiving.
I understand.
And that's literally it. Like, I have hope or a belief that there's the imperfectly perfect one out there for me. The source knows. I don't. I trust that they've got my best interests. But I don't think that I put a whole lot of importance on that. And I'll tell you why.
All right, before she gets to the why, let me just stop it right here. Now, she definitely goes into further detail about why she isn't with anybody at the moment. Mainly, you know, she mentions her career. And then at the same time, she also talks about perimenopause, which, hey, that ain't up my alley. I am a male. I never have to deal with that a day in my life. Maybe my wife, my future wife, will have to deal with that, of course, because she's a female. But hey, you know, I don't have to deal with that. So I am not going to make you guys sit here and listen to what she has to say about that. I'll let some female content creators who want to cover this topic talk to you guys about that specifically, all right? This entire conversation on the podcast started from Melyssa talking to Charlamagne about him being in therapy. So that part of the conversation eventually led to everything that you guys just witnessed. So yeah, if you guys want to see the rest of Melyssa's podcast with Charlamagne, I'm going to leave the link down below in the description box. Feel free to click on it. Go ahead and support her. Hey, you may not agree with everything that she says. I definitely don't. I don't agree with half the things that a lot of people say that I cover on this channel. So maybe if you guys watch the entire podcast episode, you'll get better context or better understanding of everything that we covered here today. All right. Other than that, some of you guys who have been waiting for her to give an explanation of what happened on the Joe Budden podcast as to why she's no longer there, you might have your answer now. Or maybe you didn't care and you just wanted to find something to watch. So I thank each and every single one of you guys who took the time out of your day to watch this video. And us here at Residual Impact, we greatly appreciate all the love and support that we've received off of our last few videos and YouTube shorts. And we couldn't have done it without y'all. Other than that, you know I can't leave without saying where you are today is a residual outcome of the thoughts you had in the past. Till next time. Peace.